Left Behind is directed by Vic Armstrong, the stuntman from the Indiana Jones movies, and it stars Nicolas Cage, Chad Michael Murray, Leah Thompson, and the guy from the Pirates of the Caribbean. A sudden epidemic seems to be spreading across the entire Earth. People are vanishing into thin air. No one knows where these people went. Nicolas Cage plays a pilot trying to land his plane to get back to his daughter, who is on the ground searching for her family. And Chad Michael Murray is like a really handy man who did something sometime, and people respect him, and he's up on the plane too, and people are vanishing everywhere. Now look, as I critique this film, I want to make one thing very clear. My thoughts on the filmmaking in this movie have nothing to do with the film's religious message. That has nothing to do with how I feel about this movie. And you can believe whatever you want. I can believe whatever I want. My religious beliefs have nothing to do with my thoughts on the filmmaking in this movie, because this film is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life. Now look, I sat in a deserted, empty theater throughout this entire movie. Despite wanting to walk out within the first 20 minutes, I didn't. I sat all the way into the end when we got our wonderful pop song and everyone held hands, and they set up a sequel. That's right. She turns to the camera and goes, "No, this is just the beginning." I'm not even kidding. That's it. Let's talk a little bit about Nicolas Cage. The man's an enigma, okay? Some people actually view him as a religious experience. This year he starred in Joe, a movie I thought was terrific, and I thought he was excellent in the movie. And I was like, yes, Nicolas Cage is back. And then he starred in Rage, a movie that I saw at home. Yeah, it had one good Nicolas Cage freak-out moment in it when he like bashes a guy's head on the ground and he starts crying. It was amazing. Besides that, the movie was terrible. And now he's in this movie, which is, in my opinion, the worst movie he's ever been in. Now let me explain it to you, because I'm not just going to say the movie's bad, he's terrible, they're terrible. I'm going to explain to you why this movie's awful. There are theatrical releases, and then straight to DVD and Blu-ray, and then there's made for television. And somewhere under there is Left Behind. I'm serious, this movie is not even good enough for television. And I'm talking about the way it's directed, the screenplay, and the acting. This movie feels like a Lifetime Channel original movie that premieres on ABC Family or something, that has a narration where he's like, the wonderful Nicolas Cage is trying to land an airplane, and his daughter is running around as people are sucked into thin air. Join us on this wonderful journey, premiering tonight on ABC Family. Even the musical score for this movie is awful. It's like 1995 drum kits combined with orchestrations. It's the worst musical score of the year. Now, Vic Armstrong is one of the best stuntmen ever. He did a lot of the stunts in the Indiana Jones movies. I have so much respect for that man in regards to that. However, a director of actors and a composer of scenes, he is not. If someone in Hollywood came to me and said, "Chris Stuckmann, I understand that you are interested in directing a movie," and I would be like, "Yes, we'll pay you $1 million to direct this screenplay." If I was forced to direct this screenplay that I saw in this movie, I swear to you on my life, I would say no as soon as I finished reading the script. Every actor feels fake. Every bit of dialogue feels forced. All of the conversations do not feel real at all. In regards to the way scenes are constructed, it's incompetent. There's a motorcycle scene towards the end of the film where the female lead finds a motorcycle, and apparently she can ride motorcycles. We have no idea if she's ever done that before, but she just does it perfectly. Throughout this entire scene, all we get are wide shots from behind. There is not one single close-up insert of the actress on a motorcycle. They could not even take some of their budget to use a pulley system to pull a motorcycle so they could get a close-up of her to try to sell that she is on a motorcycle. It was a stunt woman the entire time. And that's the way this film is directed. Shoddily, lazily, there isn't an inspired moment in this movie. No one in this movie is intense. Everyone just feels like they're moseying along through an epidemic disaster that's spreading across the entire world. Not one bit of suspense was in this movie. It was so incredibly god-awful that I wanted to leave 20 minutes in, and yet I stayed because I viewed it as a rite of passage. I was like, I'm going to watch this movie as a rite of passage so that at the end of the year I can say that Left Behind is not only one of the worst movies I've ever seen, it's a movie that I sat through. It's a respect type of thing, okay? There isn't a single moment in this movie that is worthy of you watching it. I'm telling you, it's not even funny bad. It's just awful. Guys, I'm gonna give Left Behind an F. It really honestly is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. I hate it. It was terrible. Nicolas Cage, I love you, man. But why? Guys, if you've seen this movie, what were your thoughts on it? And as always, thank you so much for watching. And if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.